Okay, guys, we are live again. Welcome to our seventh episode of the UnTacticos, and today we are going to discuss everything that happened in the last week. Arsenal beating Crystal Palace, Man City, and Liverpool dropping points, and everything and anything and everything that happened in football in the last week. I'm Jito Jobio on Twitter. I'm with
Hello, I'm Ganesh at I am Ganesha on Twitter.
Raman Dum Shiramani on Twitter.
And if you are new to our channel, please feel free to subscribe and hit on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on the notification. So, without any further ado, let's begin with discussions. Starting with the Crystal Palace game. Hey guys, what are your thoughts? How was the game? How did we play? And how was it overall? Whatever comes to your mind.
Okay, so
I
I
think
think
just to
I think this was
summarize quickly the what happened,
sorry.
it was like no, I just want to give a quick summary on like in terms of it. I think it was inevitable that Eze scored the goal against Palace. He did a mute kind of celebration, but again, you could see that he was relieved after getting that first goal. Again, it comes through a set piece routine. But I think one thing that we need to really be aware of is like in terms of our defensive culture. I think it's not just the back four or the back or the keeper back five. I think it starts from the front. I think you can see how much of effort from a defensive point of view goes from Gyökeres, Saka, Trossard. Everybody's tracking back, and everybody treasures that clean sheet. And you could like I think that they take pride in that, and that was reflective. And you can see that the stat like only 3 goals conceded. We are on track to match Mourinho's Chelsea side, 15 goals. So we are still on track for that. Of course, there will be some matches where we will concede goals, but I think it's a lovely thing to see that we have turned this Emirates Stadium into a fortress now. We are getting clean sheets. We are getting victories. We're getting clean sheets at Emirates. I think that's something that I think Mikel also was highlighting that in one of his press conferences. Was just pointing out that he wants that atmosphere there just to make Emirates kind of a place where people get teams feel scared to come to. Because if you play open and try to attack, dominate like Atletico tried, we'll score 4 against or 5 against you. If you play like Crystal Palace, you sit mid block, try to see attack us on the counter, we'll win 1-1 nil. So we have both the ways. A lot of focus on the set piece routines, but I think what this month highlighted us to us is we have different ways of winning, different ways of scoring, and these can be used in different games like, depending upon the opponent that we are having.
Right. Raman.
So for me, this was by far like the most toughest game this season of all the teams. I mean, even I felt the Liverpool game was somewhat gettable, which we didn't. That's another story. But then Palace again, this is very similar to what Fulham did. Okay, like they had no intention. They were ready to take a 1-0 loss after Eze scored the goal, and see again. I felt that it would be fantastic if Eze scored because before that moment, he was not having like the best of games. But also, I understand why that is happening because we are so used to having Odegaard in the team. You know the way he plays and everything. He has a lot of the ball and everything. We'll come back to Odegaard later. But then, yeah, Eze scoring was very beautiful. His celebration, non-celebration, another story altogether. But yeah, overall, Palace was superb. Like in the sense that it's not like they were covering one side of the pitch and ignoring the other. They were very efficient in terms of doubling down, tripling down on our players on all fronts. Beat middle, beat on the right, left. Even Gyökeres had a very difficult time. But yeah, I'm very on the win. I'm very very happy because this was a statement win because I didn't want narratives to be said that Palace are like this crazy team and they have defeated Liverpool and we should have gone into the game expecting what Liverpool suffered. I don't want because right now if we like it or not, our stories are interconnected with Liverpool. right? So I don't want
Hmm.
anything. I want wherever they faltered, I want us to succeed. So I was very happy with the Palace result.
Also, one more thing with the Eze goal was that and last season, Eze was the guy who actually scored against us in a similar fashion as how he scored uh, against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving to the next slide. Oh, us being invincible in October. Actually, this is pretty much
I
similar
think
to the stat that we guys have now transitioned from a team who at one point were leaking goals. There was some tweet. I'll try to find that one. There was some tweet that in 2019 under Unai Emery we considered around 90 something shots in 4 games, and then we transitioned to a side where Ramsdale was mad that he lost his clean sheet, and to now we have transitioned to a side that is actually not even conceding a shot on target. Like we have the bar has changed a lot. So what do you guys think about our defensive progress so far?
I think even the one shot that I don't know how to see that the one shot that came on target as well. I put it in quotes because it was I think it was a capture by of a cross by David Raya, and I don't think it was any shot because it glazed over in Ketia's head. Or else, I think October has been a clean month for us. We haven't had a shot on target, and that is such a big thing. And then when you don't allow the opposition to have shots on target, automatically you can see the impact. Like then the opposition starts fearing that any set piece can result in a goal, and they get more defensive. So this is the kind of an aura that we are carrying right now in terms of our defensive capacity. I think it starts from both Declan Rice and Zubimendi. They also have been very good in terms of ensuring that the dangerous zone is just outside the D is not being I think threatened a lot, and that kind of adds it makes it easy for us to have that clean sheet. And I think David Raya had nothing to do in the game, apart from the collecting couple of crosses, but he was relatively relaxed again. And we have an excellent keeper again.
Everyday story.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
again, see, I see this tweet from Opta Joe which says that 100 consecutive games or whatever. I'm saying there is a big difference between how we were last season and the season before and this season, right? We haven't leaked a lot of goals in the last 2 seasons, but then this season we are showing a different level. But there I feel there is a different reason. There is a reason for it. You see, Mosquera has come in. Ideally, we have given credit to Saliba and Gabriel for holding fort all the time in central defense, but then I don't see much of that credit going to Mosquera or somebody like Calafiori or Timber. My point is, even if we tomorrow, if we start Hincapie or Ben White or whoever, Lewis Kelly, we have that tendency to keep that clean sheet because this is what I think Gabriel Heinze has done. He has brought about this element of plug and play, wherein we don't have to be over reliant on just the main starting defenders. If somebody is out, somebody else comes in, and you don't feel the difference in quality. Like just like how I felt with Mosquera, I've never, apart from that one game, I don't remember where he was hooked at halftime, Newcastle. Apart from that, I have not
Yeah,
seen like a bad, like a shaky display from any of our defenders as such. So I would give credit this whole Talksport narrative of invincible month or whatever. It's utter nonsense in the first place. But again, the credit goes to Heinze, in my opinion, and how he has structured the defense. And see, again, this Heinze guy is also giving. I feel he's giving confidence to Arteta to also rotate frequently. Something Arteta was always like skeptical about. In fact, I'll go back to the 22-23 season where once we lost Saliba to that Sporting game. You guys remember
mm,
we had Kivior at
I
that time,
remember that.
but we didn't use Kivior until the late game against Newcastle at St James's Park. Up until that, we had that travesty of a defender called Rob Holding. What it's called
Holdini.
holding
Holdini.
non. Anyway, that's my take. So I feel we are in safe hands right now.
Yeah. We had a comment come up. Are we breaking the Chelsea defensive record? Ac- yeah.
Can I
Actually, I
answer
think we
this?
have. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Actually, we have broken it in the set piece this thing, but then yeah, go ahead.
I'd be very happy if we broke that record, but then I don't want it to be something on our minds. I mean, we just have to, I don't want to think too much about it, because eventually if we don't break it, I'm just throwing something out in the open. Say in the next few games we start conceding goals. Right? I'm not saying we lose, but we start conceding goals for whatsoever reason. I don't want this to become a stick to beat us with. You know what I mean? Like, you had this brilliant chance, you had this brilliant start up till now, after 9 games or 10 games or whatever, but then you couldn't hold it up, you bottled it. Again, right now our season has been very, very positive. Even the fan base, to my surprise, have been like very, very positive to an extent. Okay, the negative ones, I'm not able to find them. I have to literally go search them. You get my point? But and they're inactive, to my surprise again.
I
But
get
again,
what you're talking about, but yeah.
yeah, of course. So I'm saying this whole 15 goal thing, we beat it, fair enough. But then if we don't beat it, I'm not gonna be too fussed about it.
Right.
That's true.
I
I
think
think one thing that I want to just highlight, one thing I want to highlight, I think in terms of this defensive record, we have this, and I think just I was just trying to look at Christian Mosquera is 21, and in
hmm,
general, we have noticed that Mikel is a little bit more skeptical in terms of the younger the player is. The minutes is not proportionate to that player. But I think now this season he has realized that he needs to utilize players his squad completely instead of just 11, and that rotation is coming into play even in the games. And at 45th minute when Mosquera came in, I just didn't even realize for some time that we had a change, and it was like business as usual for us. And this guy is also like at 21. This guy is so crazy, and if you see the ages, Califury is 23, I think. Timber is 23, 24. All of these people are young defenders, and these are, I would say, Timber right now is the best. I've been telling this every week, and I'm going to promote again the best fullback in the league. Timber, I think he just eats the ball away, doesn't eat the space away, and when he's on the attacking side, he's even better. So, and I think the same thing is there with
how
the
about
attack as well. If you see, there is the goals. Even though everybody is focusing on the fact that we are winning set pieces, we're scoring through set pieces. We are actually Eze was our 11th different scorer this year, this season. So that means the goals are also being shared. So it's a different thing that you're going to find different goal scorers from different point of view of each of the games. So I think this is something that is making us more threatening now.
spot on?
Threatening and unpredictable. Also, I think only Chelsea have, I think, 10 scorers or something like that in their team. No other team has have had like so diverse scorers. Anyway,
Yeah. So this bit that we're talking about, the shots on target bit, I just found. Yeah. Yeah, this one. So look at it. We conceded 96 shots in just 4 games. This is the start for 4 games played in 2019, and compared to now, this is under
oh,
Unai
okay.
Emery.
I remember the stat. I remember the stat. No, I remember this moment when I think that was a time when we were trying to like Arteta's philosophy of playing out from the back, and we were struggling. Like Rob Holding, all our team members like not used to having playing out from the back, and this was the first season of Ramsey as well. So he was also in that a different kind of. We needed Raya back then as well. I think it was very clear that Arteta wanted Raya in the first season itself, but we got Ramsey and he tried to use him in the same mold. But you could always see that this was the footprint, like a footprint of the game that he wanted to play.
Right.
No,
Uh,
this is not around that time, bro. This is around. This is by the end of this guy's reign.
Unai
So
Emery.
I'll tell you. Yeah, Unai Emery, and I feel this also includes
It is
that.
Unai Emery's time.
Yes.
Yeah. See, it's I don't know. It's written as October 27th. No, I think Unai Emery was there, and it included that Watford game, no, where they had, I think, 33 shots, 34 shots or something against us, the 2-2 draw. Right.
Hmm.
I think see, that was the game that proved to be the catalyst for to for us to, like, for the fans to open our eyes to see, like, what the fuck is happening here, you know and I don't think Arteta's time we have conceded so much. And again, the timestamp
It
doesn't
was
like
Unai.
matter that
If I'm not
much.
wrong, it was Unai Emery. Unai Emery who was the manager in
Yeah, yeah.
It
2019.
is Unai Emery. Yes, yes, it is Unai Emery. We have a few more comments coming up. One is Wade again. Streets won't forget wrong holding at Etihad in
This is
22-23.
for the Raman.
Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
god. Streets
and
won't Potter. No, he's written it right. I thought he made a spelling mistake, but no, he's written it right. He
Forger.
was a forger. You know what I mean? Man,
Yeah.
that I'm telling you, that wing he gave after scoring that goal, no, that consolation goal. My goodness, I was like, so inferior. It's like you've invested in that entire season, and this idiot, for all his faults, he's in the end he's like winking at another player in front of the camera. I mean, it happens. I understand, but then, man, I really can't relive that game. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think is way
But
the
the hair transplant did help, Raman.
Yeah.
I think he was
Where is he now?
The
Is
hair transplant
he's
did
in
help
Crystal
him.
Palace? He is in
he's
Crystal Palace, right?
no,
Not
no, no.
playing.
He's I think with Colorado Rapids
Wow. Okay.
or
Okay.
something like that.
Cool.
Some MLS side.
Yeah. There was a
Kroenke.
point when
Kroenke club.
even
Hmm?
even there was a point when even Arsene said, right, just because he does not cost 15 million doesn't mean he's a bad defender, something like that.
But again, see that was
Yeah, that was
that time he was putting in some decent performances, if I'm not wrong. But then
Yeah.
again, that is because he had good players around him, like not good players, but then experienced players around him. So that
Right. Coming to the next comment, Arteta changed our life definitely. JD. Thanks for the comment, by the way. We have a comment from Honey. He was there in the last stream as well. It's Pep calling Percy Harry Kane team to become Erling Haaland team is one of the best karma in recent history.
huh.
But
I
I
mean
think
that
is it not visible from the last game that how much they depended on Erling Haaland to perform? If you see, like the last game, he was the one guy who was trying to make it happen again against Villa, but him being a little off track, off color, and there is so much dependency. And the midfield is almost, I think, Reinders as a six. I don't understand what Pep is trying to do. So, and again, why to bring Guardiola? I think Guardiola again comes back to centre back or
Hmm.
something. Goes as a full back, and Stones comes as a centre back. And so, he's changing and chopping and changing so often now that it's not giving the team consistency. But if you think about who our rivals are, I still would not count City out of this race. I think a lot of people are trying to see if this inconsistent results from City as calling them out of the race, but I think there are three good teams right now. Liverpool is a good team; it will click. City is a good team who likes to go on runs. The good thing that is happening for Arsenal is that City, unlike the 2018, 2017 City, which is to go on a run of victories, that's not happening. So again, but one strange thing, and if you have a comment on this one, if you observe last couple of seasons, there hasn't been like City won, Arsenal just dropped off in I think February or March. We just dropped off the season before. Then Liverpool won again. We competed to some certain extent, but we again dropped off in Feb, and they just won clear. Do you think it's going to be similar situation for us this year when Arsenal is going to be like good because all the other teams around are struggling to find their kind of place.
No, actually, all the other teams are good. The thing with us right now is that we have just improved our squad depth to an extent that we really don't care if one of our first team players is out. It could be Odegaard, it could be Gyökeres, it could be anyone. We really do not care at this point because our backup team is equally strong. That wasn't the case until like a few seasons back, where exclusion of one crucial player, and we are probably playing someone from the academy or someone who will not even start for another top team in the top four. So I think that is what has changed right now for us. Every team is good. I think so. It's only in the Premier League that you will have probably around 16 or so teams who are competing for the top. I mean, it's like even the team in the bottom four can probably defeat someone in the top four. So when you have a league like that, I think uh, I don't think that other teams are bad or something. The other teams are equally good. It's just that we have become significantly better as compared to our last season.
Okay, I want to go back to the City topic because I kind of, I mean, I have some level of sympathy with them to an extent, because they tried something after the back to back loss earlier in the season. But then what is happening with City right now is, my first example is that Kushano defender, the
Hmm.
who's playing as a right back and who's playing quite well, right? Ait Nouri
Yeah.
came in, he looked good, injured. Kusanov injured. Yeah, they've had a decent centre back partnership, but then you look at the midfield, no? The midfield is like so dysfunctional right now, but not because they're playing bad, but because they have injuries. Like, just think about it. Had they persisted with a partnership of Rodri and say Reinders, I feel they would have won this Villa game. But then Rodri again coming in, going off injured.
Injured.
So, so, so for now, I feel Guardiola can't trust that Gonzalez chap, because he comes in, plays one
Yeah,
brilliant game,
he's
next
not right.
game is like totally off it. So that sense, no, I feel that City are somewhat struggling to find their balance, and I think once they do, like Ganesha said, I'm completely with him that I don't think this league is like as cut and dry to say that we are going to run away with it. I do not believe that, and I don't want to start that narrative at all, because I feel this league is long, 9 games into it right now, 29 games to go. Lot can happen. Lot can happen. I mean, I'm not even saying that we are going to be like invincibles from now on. We are currently in that kind of form.
This month.
No, don't write off City.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I have another theory, but I don't see Liverpool coming as close to us as much as the City can.
We have two more teams that we probably have to discuss about who are actually now competing for the top four. But let's get to his comment first. We cannot forget Gabriel for shaking the start, but the way he has improved himself to the best centre back in the world is massive. Totally agreed on that. Do you have any comments? How Gabriel has
I
improved,
think that
and
team
especially
that
after that
Gabriel
injury.
came into, no, but I think that the team that Gabriel first came into was not so sure about themselves. It was
Hmm.
still for you to come as a new player to a new league and come into a team which has a little bit of a confused strategy on the pitch. It's always difficult for a centre back to settle in. It takes for time for centre back to settle in normally. If you see, even
Hmm.
with I think John Stones, when he first moved to City, he was struggling. Lot of teams started writing him off, but you could see the quality will come once you have a stability and consistency of fixtures and you start playing very regularly. I think you can
Hmm.
see it. But this guy, for me, Gabriel is excellent both the boxes. He is defensively good, and he's from an attacking perspective. I think the way he attacks the set pieces in the box, excellent.
Ganesha, this stat is from the last game or the league so far, matches so far.
Yeah, this is from the Crystal Palace game, and the what I wanted to highlight was if you see the most touches, that I think the top three Arsenal players, and if you see the Arsenal, all three of them defensive-minded players. Scored the first goal.
Right.
I think it was, and we realized later that Saka was not fully fit or was under the weather. Um, and Gabriel was on 100% fit. He did not practice. So you could see that the team was on 100%. But this is again one more point where even when we are not at 100%, we are still good. And these are the games. These are the games that we used to drop points earlier last season, and now we are
Right.
picking points at these of these tricky teams, which is very good to see.
Yeah.
Uh, so coming to our previous point about the other two teams who are competing for the top four, it is none other than Sunderland and Bournemouth. Thoughts on how what has changed for them and what exactly is clicking for them right now? And for Sunderland, as we know, we have Jaka, who is the captain, our ex-captain. So, uh, what are your thoughts on their performances so far? Both the teams.
So let's be completely real here. These teams are not gonna compete. I have significant doubts even if they will finish in like the top 8 positions. But right now where they are, even Tottenham for that matter, Tottenham also I don't see them competing at this stage because they have a lot of inconsistency. But again, forget Tottenham for now. I mean, I'm just saying Bournemouth and Sunderland. These two teams, they can act. I told you the other day, like they can act as a cushion for us, for Arsenal. And it's not like they're going to do anything. Like say for example, if they keep winning their next 2 games and City and even Liverpool, Man United, they also keep winning, drawing, whatever. Right now, before this international break, these teams can help us, like, I don't know, add to the pressure on them and let us take like even a slightly better lead, like maybe by a point or 2 points. The For City, United, Liverpool, and all, the pressure will be to get back to a respectable position, say second, third, or fourth, or whatever. And if these teams are around, I don't know, maybe they'll come under some little bit pressure. It's just very marginal that I'm talking about, marginal thing I'm talking about. But I don't know. Let's see. It has happened previously that some teams has like for example, take Nottingham Forest. No, last year
Exactly,
they were
exactly.
there.
Nottingham. Yeah,
They were there all around. Even Villa for that matter.
Yeah.
They were there. Villa and Forest. See how Chelsea struggled in the end. Eventually they made it, but then it was like it was all based on the last day, the last match day performance. No, so if we can take some advantage out of it, and again before the next international break comes in like 2 games, one of Liverpool and City are going to drop points or both. That is for sure. That's
Yes,
guaranteed,
they will play again. Yeah,
right? So
they're playing against each other, I think.
yeah, and we
yeah.
also play Sunderland, of course. So yeah, let's hope they
Correct.
keep performing for now.
Okay, so we have a comment coming up, which is from Veer.
But I think
He apparently,
what it shows is Sunderland, a team like Sunderland and Bournemouth being there. What it definitely shows is the strength of this league. This is why this is not a farmers' league. If when people say,
exactly,
okay, City has been winning all years, but again, you can see there's so much of a each game, even for a team like City, it's a battle. When they're facing a Villa, informed Villa team can beat a good quality City side as well. So it can all happen in this league, and that's why this league is interesting.
right. Last
Agreed, but
season,
I wanna one second. I wanna add one more thing to this. See, Jito, you asked earlier, like are we playing well? Are we here because the other teams are shit? You know what? Bournemouth, Tottenham, and Sunderland are here because the others are shit.
Hmm.
Think about
hmm,
it. Because these teams have Sunderland. Okay, Sunderland have spent heavily, so I would expect them to perform to a certain degree and be like a established mid-table team. But again, they are currently overperforming and they're playing well. But again, Bournemouth is doing nothing different. They're just showing that they're consistent and they carried it on from last season up until for now. I feel this is the thing, like this is what is balancing it out. Once the other teams pick up pace and start
Hmm.
performing consistently, these teams will drop off. That is my understanding of it. For them to play like shit and us playing well, there's no correlation to that.
so one of the big sides that Bournemouth did beat, it's definite, no surprise, but yeah. Anyway, moving
So,
on to
so the
yeah.
Wade's
Actually,
Wade's
he
comment, I
had a comment.
actually answered it. with what I said about Man City.
Yeah, I think they're
So,
inconsistent, but
yeah,
they are still, you can't count them out.
Yeah, you can't.
right. Um, Coming to a stat of ours, that is become second team to reach 700 Premier League goals against after defeating Crystal Palace. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Moving on to actually just found this on the group. So there's this hand of Arsenal who's been relentlessly finding the tweets from 2019 or 2020 where Liverpool were proclaiming themselves as the set piece kings of the world, and how the narrative has
Yeah.
changed right now because now we are the set piece kings and everyone is like, oh man, set piece, let's see, that's boring, that's this, that's that. So just look at what this guy has done. He's found all the tweets of Liverpool fans who were like commenting at one point about how good Liverpool were and how good Chelsea were, like corner for corners, and right now how different the narrative is just because we are the ones who are scoring and it's not them.
I think Virgil van Dijk was the Gabriel for them that time, and I think even Konate had a run of 3 or 4 games where he was scoring every game, and they were celebrating that. And it was very funny to see this happening online and this online commentary on what boring football is. As long as I'm winning a
Hmm.
trophy, I don't care what kind of football is coming in. We played Wenger football, beautiful football. Didn't give us a trophy,
Yep.
so I'm happy
Yep.
as long as we're raking up the points.
Yep. So
Mm.
Ganesha, sorry, Raman, you had to say something on that.
No, no. I just had like a question. I don't think they've scored from a corner, no, this season.
This side, Liverpool or Chelsea? No, sorry,
Liverpool,
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
They are
Chelsea
Yeah,
have scored a lot.
in a set piece, but not from a corner.
Not through a corner, no. You
Not
know
through a
why?
corner.
Because I've seen Shoboslai taking the corner where on the right side, right where Saka takes it from, and that exact same problem we had at Anfield when Rice was taking that corner. Remember? I don't think it works. That in swinging,
Hmm.
sorry, out swinger doesn't work, I suppose, anymore.
Hmm. Coming to Ganesha's work. So actually, this was about our last game. Yeah,
Yeah, I think just one
just a
one
line of
quick
it.
observation that I had was if you observed, Eze was replaced by Lewis Kelly in the midfield. Like Lewis Kelly came on for him. Of course, it was a defensive move, but it was a good observation to see that uh, you eventually do you like would you want Lewis Kelly to move into the midfield or do you still want him to play fullback? Like especially if we
So
have Hincapie as well. Lewis Kelly he
absolutely,
came on for Eze.
absolutely, he is going to play the midfield in the long run. I think, let's say now he is very young. Let's say a couple of years from now, we will be signing other left backs as backup, and probably Calafiori or Hincapie would be the ones who would be playing there full time. And probably Lewis Kelly would be transitioned as a backup as a backup role in the midfield. So he even before it even came as a surprise to our first team that
Because he's
Lewis Kelly adapted so well to the left back position in such a short span. So because before that for Haaland he was actually playing in the midfield. So yeah. So
all the
Raman,
like under 17 under football that I've seen of his, he's very attractive in the midfield. So I would love the fact that he's playing in the he can play in the midfield because
but
he's
the thing is,
creatively very good.
who right. But the thing is, right now, how we play is, yeah, we always have our back unit is our defense unit is so good that we can have three at the back and we can allow one of our fullbacks to transition to midfield or probably even go up to the final third, which we have seen Kalafiori do, which we have seen Miles Kelly do, which we have seen Timber do. So, uh, I mean, do we really? Who will be replaced in the midfield? Because we have right now Declan Rice, Merino, Zubimendi, and Norgard, all equally good. Probably, if not equally good, all are like pretty good to be backups and pretty good to be in a first team. So, who exactly will Lewis Kelly replace? Because we have like four very good players who are there in that center midfield and defensive midfield role. So,
Not
would
this
you guys?
season.
Yeah. So
I
my
don't
point is
I
that.
don't see him coming
Uh,
this season.
My point is that
Play
how about
this season.
let him
It's more for the
let him
seasons
just
after.
yeah. So my point is that how about just let him play in that left back role and let him transition to the midfield, because then we have uh, four players in the midfield and
Yeah,
three at the back. So we are basically changing our lineup. So I think that is working for us, and we don't have to basically change that whole setup now. Like bringing Lewis Kelly to midfield and playing four at the back, because even currently the three at the back for us is very solid, because when we play three at the back, our fourth defender becomes Zubimendi or Rice. So we are actually like pretty sorted over there, like the way we are playing right now. So I don't think this transition of Lewis Kelly to midfield might actually happen, like you mentioned, anytime soon. Unless we face some major injuries, I don't think this is happening. He is going to continue playing at the left back position and transition to midfield every now and then.
No, like currently there are two facets to it. One is how Calafiore is playing. So effectively, Calafiore is playing like a free role. Like he's freer than anyone in the team right now. But when Lewis Kelly comes in, he's also playing a freer role, but then in midfield. Calafiore is playing a fewer role, like further, furthermore in the final third. I mean, that's the only difference. Like, both are being seen as very similar players in terms of what Arteta wants from that position. And in terms of his development, I think he's doing quite well in this auxiliary role of a left back and a
Midfielder.
part. So, see, it's much more like the case of how Waneri can, like, he's been currently in my eyes, he's been developed as a number 10 of some sort, or an attacking midfielder of some sort. Won't say particularly number 10, but then if you want in an emergency situation, he can play as a right winger, right?
Yep.
So very similarly, like Lewis Kelly can operate in a midfield. Uh, yeah, I mean, if needed right now.
Actually, speaking of non-AD, it reminded of what I think some Ganesha mentioned sometime back about how Arteta is our youngsters are like getting fewer minutes even though they are good enough. So that is exactly what we're seeing is happening with Nani right now. Even though we had till a certain point before SJ came on, we saw that he was getting minutes. He is good enough to be starting. But right now, because our depth is like that good, we are not seeing much of Nani. He's just on the bench. So
on
what do
that,
you
I
think
think
of?
I have a very valid, like I was listening to one of the podcasts on this is on a sports doctor talking about how muscle development and bone development happens in youngsters, and he was like, until you're 21, you're always susceptible for. He's talking from a cricket perspective, but he's saying until you're 21, your bone and your muscle is not completely developed, so you are more susceptible to injuries in during the game. And especially when I see what happened with like Diaby or what happened with Wilshere, so many youngsters who could have done so much, could have played so much more, and because they played too much of football in that first 5 6 years, not everybody's a Bellingham. Bellingham is an exception, I think, to the rule. I think we have to be careful. We have to protect our youngsters, and I think it's not fair for us to put them directly in the firing line when
Right.
every team is going for a win. A team like Crystal Palace is equally solid. I'm happy that Arteta is now guiding him through the process. He is going to learn a lot more being as a backup to Eze and Odegaard, trying to understand what goes on, and he'll come and make impact. In the Champions League game when he came in, he was a live wire. So he has a quality. So he's going to come through eventually.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think so. He's Arteta's also instilling that kind of confidence in the players that, like, hey, you guys have a spot in this team in the long run. That is something that we have seen with Max Doman, like how he signed his contract recently. He just wants to stay here. Uh, which was a player, Odi, Chichiro Obi, like he left, and Andy Heaven, they left to go to United, and both went to United, right? And
Omari Hutchinson.
yeah, he is, I think, started switch right now. So
Hutchinson went to Chelsea.
but he is playing for Ipswich right now. Chelsea and then loaned out or
Again,
something.
that
No,
Hutchinson,
I think he moved to Forest. He moved to Forest,
he's,
I think.
he's at Forest right now. But then Hutchinson fiasco was something else. It was
Hmm.
that Kia Churapchen nonsense.
Yeah.
It's got
So
nothing to do with him wanting playing time or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
But see again the difference between like if I'm looking at other clubs wherein some clubs there are players like crying for like minutes. For example, Man United earlier in the season, Kobe Menu wanted minutes or whatever. He
Hmm.
asked for a transfer request and all. In our case, the good thing we did was we secured their contracts 5 years, right?
Yep.
And if
Yep.
you
Yeah.
if I want to look at a good example, that would be Man City, where I like how Pep Guardiola is managing Oscar Bob's exposure,
Mm-hmm.
Matt
Mm-hmm.
O'Reilly's
Hmm.
exposure. Not Matt O'Reilly. What is that other way? Nico O'Reilly. No,
Re-
Nico O'Reilly.
Rico Lewis. Is it
Ni-
Rico Lewis?
Nico O'Reilly, the left
Rico
back.
Lewis. Rico
Rico
Lewis.
O'Reilly. Oh, oh.
No, 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 no,
Nico
no.
O'Reilly. Okay, got
O'Reilly.
it,
Yeah,
got it.
O'Reilly.
Nico O'Reilly. So what I'm saying is they are managing his minutes very well, and that is something similar Arteta is doing right now. He's like not, and to be frank, we don't have the need to like give them minutes. You know what I mean? Like prime minutes, like play 90, play 60 minutes, like play 30 minutes. We don't need that. Like Jito said, we have like good enough depth in in those positions. So I feel, see, even Lewis Kelly, if you think of it, no, he's like currently our second choice left back.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I feel with him, I want to explore how Arteta uses Hincapie, because either he could be a second choice left back or
Yeah.
a second choice centre back. So let's see.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think
So,
the latest injury record, just again we have one point that I want to bring out was like the injuries that we are having now. I think we are having more injuries per game than our XG right now. It's almost matching up. Two players
Hmm.
injured after the Crystal Palace game. So now we have the. I think with Hincapie back, it's good to see that the defensive flexibility is still there. If Saliba is out, we are still not out completely. We still have somebody
yeah.
to even in the cup games. I think this is the best place for rotation, and we'll see how flexible Arteta is in this game.
Hmm.
I want him to like change his backline for this. Plus, also
Hmm.
his also his midfield and the right side. I mean, of course. See, my thing is, I hope everybody comes back sooner rather than later. This Madueke, Howards, and everything. Otherwise, see, now again he's going to start with Gyökeres. Think about it.
I
He's
think
not.
Gyökeres should be given a break. He should be given a break, and I think maybe Moreno starts up front.
And then who starts in midfield? You want to? I don't want to risk Rice.
No, so Nogard will start in the midfield. Nwaneri will be starting, and then we
Yeah,
can
Maneri is not
Rice.
starting in the
Yeah.
midfield.
not one
I
area.
really doubt.
Will start in midfield.
Yeah, I
Do you
doubt
think do you
they
think
are giving.
Max Down will play?
No, instead I would prefer Waneri to play on the right wing.
Okay, instead of Saka.
Yeah, but let Eze play in the number 10. Let that continue. Let
Maybe this
him.
is a good game for Lewis Kelly to come into the midfield.
No, man. See, we have not actually theoretically tested that. No, it's still a theory.
Hmm.
Like he can play midfield because he was developed as a midfielder. I get that, but we can't be like. And see again, Brighton are not going to start their B string side. No, they're going to start their.
Yeah,
They're going to start Milner, and I'm pretty sure Milner and that IRE fellow. These two are going to
yeah.
start in midfield. I mean, I can trust Lewis Kelly in midfield, but we've not played with him enough in midfield. There is a difference that how he plays as a left back and then comes into midfield. That's a different equation.
How do you build your defense? Like if you build up a team, predicted 11, what will you have
As
in
in
terms of defense? Who all will you go with? You will you go with Hincapie?
the for the Brighton game.
What for the Brighton this Carabao Cup game? Yeah,
See, again, for me, there are two things here. Like one is how you are gonna take the cup. Do you want to take the cup as an experiment? Do you wanna fully flex your squat depth muscle? That's what is important for me to know. I would prefer White, Mosquera, Hincapie, and Lewis Kelly. This would be my back four, and of course Kepa.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I wanted to
makes
come to
sense.
that.
if you
He has.
think of it,
Makes sense.
these
Makes sense.
players are not mugs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
These players are not mugs. We have to like trust like test different combinations. It's not like every time we need a Gabriel or a Saliba in the center back positions, or a Timber or a Calafiori in the wide positions. We have to have different combinations. We have to even for the FA Cup. I want like a dedicated team for the dead rubber Champions League games. I want a dedicated backline.
There were these youngsters as well,
No,
right?
I think
Salman and
I
one more guy.
agree. I think this
Yeah,
is a good back four. This is still a solid back four actually.
precisely.
This is moving on. We're coming to the what is this? Palace restricted on the pitch because 5,000 pound fine area. What is this about, Ganesha?
So I remember. So I'll tell you. So I remember a press conference that Mikel Arteta had. I think it was 21, 22, or 22, 23 season, where he was talking about a zone in the pitch. The zone marked as red. It's the place where if an opposition player steps in, will have the maximum XG chances of scoring the goals. So if you see the attack map of Crystal Palace, we have restricted them outside that box. And I think Mikel Arteta mentioned specifically, jokingly, that this is the 5,000 pound zone where if the team defensive team allows the player to come in and step in there, get the ball into that red box, then he said you have to pay a 5,000 pound fine as a defender because you can't let that happen. If that happens, it's a good chance for him to score against you. So, and if you see the dark highlighted blue portion, that's where we have kept Crystal Palace. We have not let Crystal Palace because if you see both, they have this two excellent tens, and then they have a Mateta who's in amazing form, goal scoring form, and we restricted them to one shot on target. The only way we could have done that is by pushing them either wide, not letting them come centrally, and that's what we have done. We have made sure that the ball is going as a donut instead of, and then they have to make those difficult crosses which either Gabriel or Saliba will eat up.
Do you think that's the reason why we are not conceding any shots on target? This 5,000
I
euro.
think if you see, I was looking at all the other games as well in the as the history, and Arsenal are restricting teams to this blocks. They're not letting the
Interest,
team come and take shots around the D.
interesting. Okay. This moving on to the next slide. Uh, Again, Ganesha, this one's yours.
I think this one again. I think something maybe Raman can add also. That this one just told me that there's a mid block, like a lot of teams, and the way we are progressing against those blocks. But Raman, this is something that you have identified.
These are, in my opinion, these are classic low blocks. Right? I mean, this is. I sent you this picture because I wanted to understand, like, why are we called boring?
You see Man City there.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, this is what teams are doing, and we have been taking all the blunt. Like, we've been taking all the blame, but we are boring. We are not boring, bloody. We are trying to attack them, and we are succeeding. If you think of it, we are not like struggling against low blocks. Maybe we are scoring one goal here or set piece there. I mean, that was my overarching point. And again, this also relates to the previous point you made, like that where we are restricting teams. See, again, there are two sides to it. One is we teams are happily sitting at the back and they are hardly attacking. Like, that is one theory. The other theory is teams are probably sitting behind with the intention of hitting us on a counter. But then when they are hitting us on a counter, we have been extremely efficient in terms of restricting them in that box that you showed me, the blue box,
Yeah.
right? So I think this is these are all, like, if we just sit and at the end of the season collect all the data points like you collected, we'll actually
Yeah.
see that we are a very very efficient team when it comes to defending even on transitions.
So, I mean, speaking of considering everything, like season after season, why do you guys think we are the most hated team for the media? Because season after season, there's always some or the other excuse. if we perform well, if we perform bad, it's always us in the media. Why do you think that is the case? Is it because of our fan base or what?
I think it's you remember that Micah Richards interview, like he was talking about it's if it's Arsenal, it's a problem. Only when it's
Hmm.
Arsenal, there's something that's a problem. I think even Granit Xhaka quoted that interview, and I think it is like that. People don't like Arsenal fans, especially when they are winning, and we are exuberant and looking forward to a trophy after a long time. And I think
Hmm.
this is like a lot of London rivals are obviously not happy with the current state of play that is happening. And I think we're going to see more if we keep this form and long may it continue. If we keep doing this, I think we're going to see a lot more of a verbal attack coming from the rivals across. London has a lot of people who follow different clubs across London, and they're not going to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel even the. I mean, I can understand fan channels doing it, but at this point, this mainstream media over in the UK is simply rage baiting. That's all they're doing. This is
Hmm.
actual rage bait. You can't that table. Just go back to the table.
Which one?
The stats one before this. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I've never seen this for any other club.
but I
Yeah.
think this is an
So much
older.
work
I think
going
this is the
into.
older. I think this is the older one because our set piece goals is actually 11. We have 11 set piece goals, if I'm not wrong. There's just 9
uh,
over here mentioned.
It doesn't matter. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I mean,
The
they'll
media
not say that.
narrative.
Sorry.
This is the media narrative that Sky is pushing, saying that look at the open play goals, look at the
No. And
set piece goals that they're getting.
they pushed it yesterday. So I don't know why they have not included. But anyway, they somebody I think there's this Twitter account called Monty AFC. Big up to this fella.
Hmm.
But then this guy debunked this. Like he said something like we are not fourth or something like that. He said. I don't know. I have to go back and read that. But again, see, at the end of the day, even BBC ran some nonsense table. Like had if we don't count like it just occurred to me. If we don't count set piece goals, Arsenal will be like sixth or seventh or whatever. I mean, who gives a shit, yeah? Who gives a shit? We are
like
like they're talking as if we are committing a crime every time we are fucking scoring a set piece goal.
as
I'm
if if
very
we,
serious. This is proper reach beating.
yeah, it's like as if we don't score from a set piece, we can't score from open play.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Atletico gave us the room and we scored, right?
Yeah,
again that game was cagey to my knowledge. It was cagey up until the time that we scored the first goal. Set piece is a way of getting like get going in the game. The question you asked, no, are we stupid? Are Arsenal fans the reason? No, it's like it's content like this that will obviously infuriate you. Even if you're a positive Arsenal fan, a negative Arsenal fan, it will infuriate you, and you are bound to like retweet it, like or whatever the fuck, and just comment. So they are getting their engagement, right?
hmm.
True.
Anyway,
Maybe
True.
it's just that our fan base is actually among the largest out there, if not the largest.
maybe I can
Of course, we
safely
have one of the big
say
clubs.
active.
Yeah. So this is very much true. Boring is tenuous. We should have brought this during the set piece discussion. Like boring
Yes,
is tenuous without a
I
title.
got this because this was after an Arsenal game, which
Hmm.
finished nil in 2015. That Mourinho was asked about why his team's parking the bus, um, and he said boring football, boring is 10 years without a title. So I think
Hmm.
Wenger, I think as Arsenal fans, we also started calling them boring. We called these set piece kind of goals as boring or Tony Pulis game as boring. And we always wanted to see that beautiful kind of football of tiki-taka passing. We like that. I think we also have encouraged it in the middle, especially in the later period of Wenger. We always wanted to see that specific special football of passing into the goal. Of course, but I think there's no one set way of not just passing into the goal. We can have set pieces. We can have other aspects of the game like throw-ins. Brentford has used that to such a devastating effect that they're the long throws that they're getting in. So these are all tools available for teams to score goals, and you should be
Correct.
using everything. And that's what
Correct.
is happening. But I found it very interesting, and Mourinho would really like this Arsenal team.
That's what. And see, to be frank, I don't see us playing boring football. I can understand if some rivals come and say that it's boring because we are not scoring too many goals and all. I don't care. I care if an Arsenal fan comes in and tells me that we play boring football. I mean, then what are you even doing there, man? What are you even doing there? If you tell me the Crystal Palace game was boring because we won by a goal to nil, I was bloody nervous up until the end. No, that is. I don't think that's boring. Anyway,
Hmm.
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
tactical play between both the managers and both good managers, and you could see that on the pitch. Everything like moving like a chess piece.
see, I'll add one more point. Okay, I feel the managers who thought they can open up against us, they got screwed. Forest,
True.
Leeds, Atletico, everybody got screwed.
Atletico.
The ones who were smart, Marco Silva, Glasner, they didn't care. They didn't want to lose more than a goal. So, I'm telling you, if these teams put up this kind of low block in front of Man City,
No, no.
they are going to struggle. And like I said earlier, the only team that had balls against us was Manchester United. That's it.
Yep. So this is
True.
the final trivia for night. I think we should wrap it up. Uh, so yeah, James Milner, his
Yeah.
longevity in the Premier League. Uh,
What a great
let's
player.
take
What a
time.
great player. Like,
Great.
I
Right,
think
and he
for all
still
the people
plays
who
great.
Yeah, I think the streets won't forget kind of players like Gareth Barry, Frankie
Yes.
Lampard. Like it's like all of these players who have played so much, Ryan Giggs, and I think sometimes we just realize that so there are certain players of Milner's. Like Milner has now won with Liverpool, and he still has having an hunger to play and improve this Brighton side. Initially, I
Hmm.
think any person he has achieved everything. He could have just stepped out of the game and said, "I'm relaxing," and now, but he's still helping this team. And if you see, he's doing that week in week out. I think just excellent. And
Right.
again, it will be good to see him and and facing them such
Okay. So I think we're calling it a day for now. Uh, That was a great stream, guys. Thank you for joining in. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys found something informative from this. If you're new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, the UnTacticos, and also we'll be dropping a new stream discussing the Bayer Leverkusen Nottingham Forest uh, downfall and also how Bournemouth and Sunderland have become better this season in our next stream, which will happen in a few days. So do join in. And if you guys would like to join us in the panel, please let either of us know. Just tweet. You can write to us. You can DM us. I'm Jovi on Twitter. Ganesha is exactly what's mentioned in this. Or what was the name that's name mentioned in the display? I'm Ganesha. Raman is Damdam Shrimani on Twitter. You can write to either of us. And you're a mute. You're a mute, Raman.
No, I said I'm Dum Dum Shiramani, not
Yeah,
Shrimani.
Damdam. Right. I'm sorry, my bad.
No
Damdam
problem.
Shiramani on Twitter. Yeah. So you can write to either of us, and we would love to have you guys on the stream. So until next time, bye.
ciao.